And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Heart-Based Business Show. I am Dr. Shirlene Reeves, and I'm really happy to be with you today. Today, this show is all about authors, because one of the biggest challenges that authors have is making money with their book. And I'm going to talk to you today about how to make money with your book without buying ads. One of the biggest challenges that authors have after they publish is the sales. And even if your book has been bragging rights of an international bestseller at the top of the charts, it will soon plummet right to the bottom. So that's what I'm going to talk to you about today. You're going to learn the secret I use to make my book sales, and a new idea you might not even have thought about. So I'll be back in just a moment. And welcome back to the Heart-Based Business Show. And we're going to get underway right away because I think this is such an important topic. And I've done so much research to try and get these answers for you. And then I experimented with them myself. And guess what? It worked. So I'm actually going to give you some tips today for what you can do as soon as you leave watching this show. So as I said, a big part of not selling your book now is because you probably went on Amazon and you thought, oh, good, I finally got my book on Amazon. You maybe had it edited 9 times, just like I did with mine. I thought it would never end. And I learned what the word red pen means. That means they're going to slash it left and right and red pen it. And you're going to have to go back and rework it all over again. Oh my gosh, I worked so hard. My book is 367 pages. So you can imagine what that meant with 9 edits. So my question is, isn't it time that you open the box that your books are in? Maybe they're in your closet, maybe they're under your bed, and blow off the dust, right? You work so hard with that book. I know it because I was there. I just said that. But since you did that 99-cent Amazon international bestseller, it plummeted, and now it's probably invisible. And you've been looking at so many ideas. How can I get my book out there? I worked so hard on it, and nobody's even read it unless I give it away or I put it in a bag as a gift. You know, none of that works very well, does it? And I used to get books when we were doing live networking. I got so many books, you just can't imagine. And a lot of those were anthologies, but I'm not talking about anthologies. I'm talking about those who have written your own nonfiction book. When we write a nonfiction book, we really have something important to say. Like my book is all about business and how to sell without rejection. I think that's a pretty important thing to say. But I had such a rough time trying to sell my book. And I thought, I've got to find a way to resolve this. And once I find that way, I can share it with everybody else. Now, you know, I love to tell these stories about my grandpa, Lou. And he used to say, so many times, oftentimes I would say, that what we believe to be of value may not be the same value to others. Or what we may believe to be of value isn't seen by others because they don't know where it is. But how would you know if you don't find some way to get the word out into the public? No one can buy your book if you don't know what you have. Or let me rephrase that. No one can buy your book if you don't know. No one can buy your book if they don't know what you have. That's what he used to say. So let me show you how to show them what you have. So I'm going to give you an example that happened with my grandpa. And we were up in Mendocino. I was up with my grandparents. I loved traveling with them. Oh, they were just my favorite people to be with. And when we were up in Mendocino, I don't know if you've been there before. It's such a lovely place on the coast. In the Pacific coast, and I just love it. And it's one of my favorite places to visit. But Grandpa Lou pointed to an A-frame. You know what that is, a sign, an A-frame on the sidewalk. And he said, look, they have a Monte Cristo sandwich and at this little restaurant. And he went on and on about his first Monte Cristo sandwich and how luscious it was. If you haven't had it, you need to have it, because we had it together that day. And he said, I love Monte Cristo sandwiches and I've been craving them lately. How strange. So my grandmother went in and put our names on the list so that we could be seated. And Grandpa and I sat outside on the bench together. And he pointed at the sign and he said, you see, if they didn't put the sign in front of us, I would never have known that the Monte Cristo sandwich was available here today, and I would have missed it completely. They put the sign right where you couldn't miss it unless you were sleepwalking. And then even then, you'd probably trip over it. Well, he was absolutely right. No matter what you do in life, if you want people to know about it, you have to put it smack dab in their face, or they'll miss it completely. This is the point that Grandpa was making. And I've never forgotten his advice, which is why so many people have my book. And some I've sold, some I've sent for speaking engagements, some I have packaged in programs. So it's how you utilize your book that counts. And each of the ways I just mentioned make you money without paying for ads. In case you missed it, I'm going to repeat it. I've sold some. I've sent some for speaking engagements, and some I package with programs. Now, when you sell some, that hooray, you get a check every month. And when you send your books out for a speaking engagement, then people have them and they see that you have a lot of integrity in the ability to speak because you've got this phenomenal book. They may not even open the book, but they will bring you in for a speaking engagement. And then you're either paid for the engagement, or you can sell your books there, or people want to buy your program. So you see, there's 3 different ways that it can work when you're speaking. And then, if you remember, I said that I package it with my programs. That's really important, because if you've written a phenomenal book and you want people to read it, they have to have something that goes with it, something that anchors it that you can advertise. Don't you think that's a good idea? So with my book, I have 3 programs. I have the Heart-Based Selling program. I have the Business Mastery Platinum, which is how to create programs for online sales and to couple it with your book. And then I have Massive Visibility Media, and that teaches you how to be professional on media. So you're invited to speak on everybody's summits and their podcasts and their webinars. There's so many opportunities to are really professional. People see that. And so what I do is I teach people how to be professional, how to speak the message that their clients are waiting to hear so that they can call them when they go in on a show. Well, guess what? All that is coupled with my book, 3 programs. So I'm putting this out there. What if you had a program that is coupled with your book? Would that be a good idea? Maybe it would be easy to sell, and then you wrap your book in it as a package. Well, it's really how you utilize your book that counts. There's some other ideas I have for you too. One of the things I love to do is travel with my book cover, because it looks like I have my book with me. It's too heavy to carry with me all over. And I just went all over Europe before, well, I came back December 2019, and I took my book cover. And so it went to London, it went to Ireland, it went all over. And so I have a picture with my book cover everywhere I went. So, and people love it because I put it up on Facebook. They get used to seeing the book. They see me traveling, and they just kind of travel along with me, and they start to identify with the book. And you may not be able to travel all the time, but just if you're going to the park, take your cover to the park, or take your book to the park and say, look, I'm reading my book in the park. And then you talk about maybe what you were reading. It adds interest to people's idea of who you are. They begin to trust you, and then they think, oh, this must be a really good book. Now, here's another idea. What you might want to do is apply for awards. Now, you saw the seals on my book. It's a bit behind, but I actually have 4 awards. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. You might say, and you would be right, oh, my book has been out for too long, I can't apply for awards, because usually it's 12 to 18 months that you can apply for an award. But here's a little tip. If you change your cover, and maybe your book hasn't been selling because your cover's not so great, you might think your cover's phenomenal, but it may not be so great. And it may not be eye-catching, or I'm not trying to insult you. I just want you to really evaluate and maybe ask some people that are not connected to you in any way, so that you get some unbiased answers about how your book cover looks, and maybe what they would like to see differently. Also, if you published your book a couple years ago, or maybe even 3 years ago, there may be some things that you learned that you could update in your book. Maybe you put a whole new chapter in it. And then you can re-release it. If you change your cover and you add something to the book, you re-release it. And you can start all over again, and you can apply for these different awards. Now, what awards did I apply for, and why did I do this? Well, when you apply for an award, you're up against maybe 10,000 other books. Yeah, 10,000 other books. And when you get an award for your book, that's huge. That's really, really huge. Especially if you got the award and not just the finalist award. But that's a pretty nice thing too, to have a finalist award. But in the ones that I applied for, I applied for the International Press Award, the Independent Press Award, the Next Generation Indie Award. That one was really my favorite, because they had an event, and that's where I got the medallion. It was like winning at the Olympics. It was so exciting. When I got that award, I got to go up on stage, and I was so humbled and appreciative of that award. And then the last one is the New York Big Books Award. That was the last one that I got. And all you have to do is go online. I think Next Generation Indie, they're calling for books constantly, and they have their awards ceremony every year. And then Independent Press that's actually the first one that I got. I was shocked when I got that, because I had so many entries that were in against me. And the International Press, oh my gosh, that's a huge amount of books that you can compete against. And then New York Big Books, I was really pleased with that award too. That was really fun. And it was a surprise, a complete surprise, because here I was Oh, let's see, where was I sitting? I think I was all the way in south of the UK, and I went to dinner, and guess what? I got a text saying you won an award for the New York Big Books Award. And guess what? They were all in marketing and sales because that's what I entered them in. Marketing and sales for me is exactly what my book is all about, is how to develop your business, then how to market and how to sell your programs. That's what the book is all about. But here's the deal. I have a surprise for you. And I think that you're really going to love it because it's going to give you a taste of if you don't have a program that is a part of the package with your book, or maybe you might want to do a new program. It is going to be really fun because it's called the Turn Your $10 Book into 1,000. Is that a cool name for a program? Turn your $10 book into 1,000. Why do I say that? Because so many of these books, they're sold for next to nothing. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, even when you got your international bestseller, what was it? 99 cents? Oh my gosh. And then after that's over, it becomes $10, $7, $12, whatever it is, if it's a paperback. And if it's a hardcover, then it's going to be more. So here's what my thought is. I had a dream and I thought, what if I run a free 5-day challenge called Turn Your $10 Book into 1,000? Would that be a cool idea? The reason I say to turn it into 1,000 is because ultimately you can probably charge $9.97 for your program if you structure it correctly. That's the big thing. You have to structure it correctly. And so this is what I do. My clients say when I develop programs for them that I make money rain on them. That's pretty cool, right? And I think it may be true because I just won the top business coach and the top motivational speaker for 2020 from the International Association of Top Professionals. It was quite an honor and also quite a surprise. So what I want to do is teach you how to create your programs and how to take your book from $10 to 1,000. And I'm going to take you step by step over a period of 5 days. You get 5 videos, and I will teach you. You can't learn everything, you know that, in 5 days, but I'm going to do the best I can to get you started in developing a program that will sell your book. Because the easiest way to sell a book is to wrap it in a package. And then you throw a couple bonuses in and everybody's happy. You're happy, excuse me, because you just made $1,000. And think about it. If you sold 10 packages a month, you'd make $10,000 a month. Imagine. $10,000 a month you'd make if you just sold 10 packages. If you sold 5, you'd make $5,000 a month. But my question is, how difficult is it to sell 5 programs a month? Not bad, right? And that might just be your basis for what you need. And if you sold 10 programs, then you would make 10,000. If you sell 15 programs, you make 15,000. It's simple. So does it make sense to you to take your $10 book and make a program to go with it and then sell it for $1,000? Yeah, I think so. And it's what I do myself. So as I said early on, I try things out before I bring them to you. I always have. I've been a business coach for 28 years, and I had a multi-million-dollar business with 23,000 working under me for 17 years. And you know, that was just so much work. Oh my gosh, it was so much work and so many people to manage. But now all I manage to do is find 10 people a month to make $1,000 each, equaling $10,000 a month. I mean, it's so simple. It makes perfect sense to me. If it makes sense to you, write it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this. And you're probably thinking, oh, when am I going to do this? Well, I will be announcing it in the Facebook group. And I'm thinking that maybe you might want to join the Facebook group so you know when it's going to be. So it's called the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground. Go to the Facebook group, sign up, and I'll be posting everything about the free 5-day challenge, Turn Your $10 Book into 1,000 in the Facebook group. And you can even bring friends. It's so much fun. I don't know if you've ever done a challenge. If you have, let me know what challenges you've done. I'd love to know what you've done and how you like them, what you like best about them, what you like the least about them. But I think you're going to have a lot of fun with this. And if anything, you've got nothing to lose because it's free, right? Our whole goal with this is to bring your invisible book out into the public. Because like what Grandpa Lou said, just like the A-frame sign, if we don't know about it, how in the heck can we buy it? What are you doing to let people know about it? Are you just marketing on social media? That doesn't work. Have you noticed? It doesn't work at all. So as Grandpa said, no matter what you do in life, if you want people to know about it, you have to put it smack dab in the front of their face or they'll miss it because not many people sleepwalk. But I do want to tell you about the Monte Cristo sandwich. It was phenomenal, and I see why he loved it so much. And I loved the teaching that he provided for me with the A-frame sign. So we can't put a lot of things on the sidewalks nowadays unless we have our own store. So we don't have that. So now what we're going to do is wrap our book into a package after we blow it off. And don't let me fool you, because you will have to make a beta test after you develop your program, and it won't be $1,000 then. But let me tell you what you get out of a beta test. You get a testimonial, video testimonial, of course, and you're going to get feedback. Oh, I like this a lot. You did really great here. I'd like you to beef it up a little bit over here. I would love to have learned more about this. So the beta test is fun to do, and it gives you a ton of feedback, and it also gives you credibility because you have suddenly all these testimonials. So even then, if you sold it for half that, and you had 10 people, you're still in great shape, right? You're in excellent shape. I want you to think about how much easier it is to just sell 10 people than it is to run around and look for 20 people or 25 or fill a room. Oh my gosh, I think those days have passed. I don't think we're filling rooms anymore, particularly because we can't be so close. So the other thing is that the rooms are very, very expensive. And once you do your package, you can sell it on, you can teach it online, just like I'm teaching you right now. But the first step that you want to do is join the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground. Because if you do, you'll know everything that's going on in there. And we also have a business mastermind every week. And it is a referral group, and everybody refers to each other, and they either make money because they got the referral, or they get a referral fee because they gave a referral. So it works great for everybody, and that's free too. So come on into the group, Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground. Become a part of our lives, a part of our community. We are all heart-based people and very heavy hitters. And that's why I usually have them on the Ask the Expert show on Fridays, is to support you in doing the things that you want to do in your business. So I want to thank all of you for being with me today. It was really wonderful. I hope you got a lot of good information. Don't forget, carry your book around. Even if you go to dinner, take your book with you. Here I am. Or Starbucks, here I am at Starbucks in this place. And here's my book. So my book got a chance to sit with me and have some coffee. Just have fun with it. That's all. Get it out there. Have fun with it. Carry it around. And if you have a picture with a friend or you do a selfie, hold your book up next to you so that you have your book in your pictures. Take your book everywhere you go, or take the cover like I do, so that you have it in every picture. Join the Authors and Speakers Visibility Playground, and then come play with us at the Take Your $10 Book to 1,000 Profitability Challenge, and learn how to create a program in only 5 days. I look forward to seeing you in the group. Take care, everybody.